Welcome to another episode of the Guy Code. I am Renal Sawyer. Now, guys, on this episode, we're going to be talking about financial transparency in dating, frame, and finances. Now, let me just share some background information. Now, guys, frame is when you can operate from your deepest sense of masculine being. You can operate from your life purpose, your life source. Now, what does this mean? This means that all your choices are tailored to ensure you will be in a position to give your gift to the world and enjoy your fulfillment from it. Now, that is frame, and that is how it is manifest in our day-to-day lives. How does finances come in? This is why it comes in. Finances are your resource, your energy reservoir as you operate in this capitalist, majorly capitalist world. So what do you do to bring those two together? You ensure all your financial habits first prioritize your own sustenance and are channeled towards ventures to help you produce more. Now, for those of us who have had the privilege to read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I believe you can definitely confirm with me if this quote is there, where he says you need to pay yourself first. That's how he shares this habit. You need to pay yourself first. Saving is paying yourself first before you pay your bills, before you pay your debts. You pay yourself first. You worked hard for that money, you pay yourself first. So what does this do? It helps replenish the reservoir, energy reservoir you have, and once you invest it, you are increasing your capacity. Capacity to do what? To be a problem solver. You know, as men, we are expected to be problem solvers. So when you put yourself in a position whereby all your energy, once you get a paycheck, it goes directly into debts, directly into bills, you're not building your energy reservoir. You're not building your capacity as a man to be a problem solver when it is needed, and you're not putting yourself in a position whereby you will be able to take care of the loved ones you have and the ones you may have if you haven't yet started a family, when they really expect you to step up to the plate. So it's very important that our financial habits are tailored to do this, to first prioritize your own sustenance. Right, there was I believe he was a financial coach who was sharing a bit on black tax. You know, for those of us on this part of the world, the African continent, we have this habit, or could I say culture, whereby we tend to give back to where we came from, which is especially our parents. You know, and most of us, we take pride in it. We've gotten to a certain point in your lives where you want to give back to where it was feeding you, where you were nourished as you were growing up. And unfortunately, some of our family units tend to abuse that, whereby they are always asking for something. They're always asking for, send money back home for this, that, this, and the other. And I really like how this financial coach put it, whereby he said, even if you gave your relatives your whole paycheck, it still would not solve all their problems. So what do? Instead, you first prioritize your own sustenance and your own reservoir, because you cannot lose for them to gain momentarily, which is not even a permanent solution. It's momentarily. You cannot keep losing for them to gain. So you have to prioritize yourself first. And after you prioritize yourself first, you increase your capacity so that you're in a better position to look after them and look after your loved ones in a better way, in a more efficient way, whereby you can feel that you're also growing and you're also enjoying seeing yourself take care of business as a man, which is a very fulfilling feeling. And so as a man, you are first a producer, not a consumer. Always prioritize filling up your reservoir first, since you will always have someone drawing from it. As men, there's always someone who's looking up to, like, okay, when is the man going to stand up to the plate and fix this solution? There's always someone to draw from the reservoir of a man, right? Family, wife, children. These are the kind of people that will be drawing from your reservoir. Your wife, your family, your children, all up to your later and sons and tears. So we should never waste our seed, never waste these small beginnings, the small revenue we're starting to get when we start to be independent, when we start to building careers. These are seeds that we can use either through investment, either even as simple as compound interest, where you save it and it keeps compounding as time goes by through whatever means, whatever strategies you prefer using. Let us not waste our seed. We need to penetrate the world with quality seed so that we can get back the fruit of her womb. This is an analogy I wanted to share, which means that when we're able to nurture and take care and protect our seed and use this seed to get into the world, use this seed, whether it's a gift, whether it's a talent, whether it's an academic qualification, all this is a seed that can be used to penetrate the world. By penetrating the world, which means getting into the workforce, getting into the business field, providing solutions, providing services, goods that help improve someone's life, we will get the fruit of our reward, which is building our wealth. Our wealth as far as financially, our wealth as far as freedom of time, also our wealth as far as our families, creating that generation of wealth where that some of us really prioritize, which we should prioritize generational wealth, and we need to protect our seed. Let us not waste it. Also, guys, we need to understand that the feminine is made to receive the masculine seed. Asking her how much money she wants is like asking her how much attention she wants or how much intimacy she wants. She wants all of it. She wants all of it, right? Because for most women, we have observed and we can attest that these things are like almost addictive for them, right? Whereby they just can't get enough. They always want your attention, always, in every way. Why? Because it makes them feel happy, and they always want to feel happy, right? So asking her how much money she wants. She just wants money. She just wants to be taken care of, because that for her means she's taken care of. To what degree she wants to be taken care of? The very best. The very best. So there is no limit. There is no number where you can say, let's put a cap on that. That's how much taken care of that you need. She wants all of it, right? So she wants to operate in the flow of your provision, of your masculinity, and have as much of your seed as possible. And we mean this physically, sexually, even financially, to her there is no end. as we have referred, and I have referred a couple of times on this podcast, how the book The Way of the Superior Man by David Dada, I really recommend. For those who have not read it, you should definitely consider reading that book. Very good book. It will help you understand the concepts that we discuss on this platform better. And he says that the feminine is like the weather, is Mother Nature. The weather has no end. There's no end to weather. It changes, but there's no end. Time is masculine. We call it Father Time. Time is masculine. There's an end to time. There's no end to weather. Weather just changes, It goes from rainy to sunny it always changes. But time has an end. So the feminine has no end. That is why they like to express themselves for the sake of expressing themselves. You're wondering, man, my girl just likes to talk, and you're wondering, what's the point? Get to the point. Bro, there is no point. There's none, right? She's just expressing herself because she wants to express herself and she finds joy in expressing herself. You're right? We as a masculine want to understand what is the point, get to the point, and can we act on it? So we need to understand that just like she just likes to express herself for the sake of expressing herself, and it will never end. For most ladies, they can talk and express without end, and they just enjoy the process of expressing themselves. They also enjoy the process of being taken care of and receiving your protection and receiving your seed as much as it is over and over and over again, right? That's why even sexually women like to have it back to back to back. She likes the foreplay all the way to the conclusion and again. Us, we reach the conclusion and want to sleep, full stop, done, right? So that's how we are different, and we need to consider that even in other aspects of our lives, especially one like this one. So let me just add in a small caveat here, whereby, however, for most women nowadays, no matter how masculine a man is, they are incapable of fully financially submitting to that man, even though this man may be her husband. Now, guys, you can share your feedback and experience on this, because this is something I've actually experienced as I'm getting to engage and get to know different women and their attitudes towards marriage and submission and all that. I realized that many of them have no problem submitting physically, their physical body to a man, of which they only have one body. But when it comes to resources, very few of them would fully financially submit to a man, even when you put into that case that person will be their husband. Why? Because for most of them nowadays, they value autonomy over everything. And in this day and age, money is the primary tool to literally fuel you to enact your own will. So that is one of the reasons whereby they never fully financially submit to a man these days. They never want to fully financially submit to their man. And they want to just maintain that independence, because nowadays, because of empowerment and female empowerment and all these opportunities that are, accessible to them, many of them have been able to create a quality of life alone that is quite decent. And for example, if we take a case, maybe she graduates 24, she gets a job. From 24 to, we said the average marriage age in Kenya is about 28. For those 3 years, 4 years, maybe even Not assume this is assuming that she wasn't living alone during campus, but most of them actually live alone during campus. So let's say around from 21 to all the way to the age of 28, she's used to dealing with her own independence. And if she got a very good career, which many of them are getting very good careers, she's able to now create for herself a very good quality of life that she gets accustomed to, right? And she's used to having that autonomy of making her own life decisions. She wants this, she wants to get this. And now imagining a point whereby she will have to be subservient to her life partner is something that is very concerning for most of them. They are now shying away from that fact. That is the truth. And some of you may have experienced the same. I would definitely want to hear your feedback. So this is one of the first reasons why they are maintaining their own autonomy, their own independence. That's why they don't want to really disclose or fully submit to a man in that way, you know. So it is something that is currently happening, and we should actually expect the numbers to grow. Secondly, many women have fallen to the trap of very undeserving men who have weak frames, and these men have swindled them, right? So there are some ladies who probably did want to fully submit, and at a time, and in one time, they actually fully submitted to a man financially. The man actually got their full paycheck. But what did he do? He abused that position. He abused it and used it for his own gain, his own selfish gain. And she was left, to pick up the pieces. So going through that situation, she might be very apprehensive going to another relationship whereby the man wants that kind of arrangement from her. Even though this man might have a great track record of being competent, she will still have a lot of reservations from going through that again, right? So these are two truths of why many women these days are shying away from fully financially submitting to their life partner. And what happens when we have these two groups of women who are going through these situations is that the truth is many women advise each other to have a secret safety net in case the man falls short when executing his expected responsibilities. And this is something I got to understand very recently, whereby I was being told that even grandmothers from earlier generations are now telling the younger ladies who are getting into marriage that have your own safety net, have your own secret bank account. So women are taking heed of this advice. They are having secret bank accounts, secret investments, even secret assets. There are people in this city, Nairobi, in this country, in this day and age, who have no idea that their wives are actual landlords and own properties and actually collect rent. And the husbands have no idea. Why? Because of maybe experiencing a time where they were swindled, maybe reaching a point whereby they just really value their own independence, that you're used to having your independence and you want access back to that independence in case the man falls short. Because as you are seeing, and we are seeing right now, even in media, there's this message that men will embarrass you. To quote a cast member in this popular Netflix show, young, famous and African, the cast member, I don't remember her name because I don't really watch the show. I saw the clip. She said men will leave you in the desert without water. So this is the attitude the mainstream media is sharing about men, that men, they will embarrass you, they will leave you hanging, they will leave you desolate. And unfortunately, there are some men who do that, and we definitely do not support such men. We support competency. This is what we are working on this side. However, that is the narrative that is being shared, and it makes women very concerned and hesitant to fully submit to a man, even though he has shown that he has a track record of being competent. So what truth do we have to accept? We have to accept that many of them will never expose their true earnings to their partner, to hold on to that autonomy, to hold on to that safety net, believing that, something will happen and he will bail out, So they believe now, his money is our money, my money is my money. Maybe there's some silver lining into all of this, because it helps us establish frame in the family unit, since the seed goes to the egg and not vice versa. The seed is the one that goes to the egg and not vice versa. So it helps us retain that frame in the relationship. However, we need to understand the background information, the mentality behind all of these actions. So what do? We make sure we are competent. We make sure we actually understand the women we are considering to be life partners, to share our lives and our families with and raise our children. What are their attitudes towards submission? What are their attitudes towards, leadership? Competent men. What are their attitudes towards, how their own family used to operate, what they saw, what the matriarchs of their family are telling them when it comes to, being with your man and honoring his position in your life and in the family. We need to understand their attitude so that we can anticipate and prepare to deal with the different kinds of women and different kind of ideologies that are coming up. That is just what I want to share with you guys on this episode, guys. I hope I have shared something insightful. Look forward to more of your feedback on Twitter at Gecko Kenya and Telegram channel. We're at 200 and something subscribers so far. Thank you for all of those who are in that community. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your feedback and how we engage. And I look forward to sharing more on this topic and hearing your experiences when it comes to frame and finances and dealing with women in different spaces and different relationship stages. Until next time, guys, we shall talk soon. Bye.
Guy Code with Rena Osware.